Well, hey everybody, Leslie here. So the question is it easy to enter the paralegal career? Uh, no, it is not. And does it require school? No, it does not. If you're in school, stay in and finish. But if you're not in school, don't make an assumption, because we don't make assumptions in the legal career that you must. That is not 100% reality. Okay? It's the easiness comes in when you know your craft, right? The best thing to do is to figure out, is this, what area of law do I love? And then when you look that up and you research on Google and you research whether it be family law, immigration, business law, and look at what paralegals do in those areas. Learn how to research using Google. That's your, should be your BFF. And then ask yourself this question: is it something I like? Because if you're looking at the average salary that a paralegal makes on Google, that's not a truth there. That's totally bogus. Because if you take all the salaries of paralegals and put them together and you come up with what Google says, that's not a way to determine it. You cannot go into this field totally driven by what it says on Google and by money, because what is going to make you happy? Be aware enough about yourself that when you do research on Google about the individual types of paralegals, that what you see that they do every day, is that attractive to you? Do you like it? Is it something that is pulling you towards that area of law? You know, it may be that you went through a lot of things personally and now you want to go into the area of law that you have knowledge of because of what you went through. That's very common that people want to do that. But when you research what paralegals do in that area of law, do you want to do that? That's the question. Now, it's hard to find out online what paralegals do every day. That's why, oh, thank you so much. Glad you're here with me. That's the primary purpose of the videos I do here, is to take you inside, in many instances, into the area, some areas of law that I've put videos on here. Oh gosh, about probably 6 or 7 different areas of law that you can get an overview picture of, that you can think, ooh, do I really want to be in this? Or does that not light your fire? Or maybe it totally does. Be very aware of what you need as a human. That's okay to do that. One of the biggest things, and I just did a video on the Facebook page called Paralegal Coffee Talk, and come on over there and join us there if you like. I do a lot of the same videos there, so if you're more comfortable here, stay right here. And people were, I had paralegals commenting that they want to change to a different area of law because they've worked in one area for a long time and they're kind of done with it. That's pretty common. I mean, that's common in any walk of life. We need a change, and change is okay. I grew up in a family where it's like, stay in one job for 50 years and you, oh boy, you'll be set. Well, those jobs don't exist. And they did for my dad until he got fired because they wanted to hire people much younger than he was. He was 46 years old. My husband was let go at almost the same age because they were going to sell the division that he was in, and they wanted to let all the higher paid people go so that it could look good on a spreadsheet as far as how the division was making a profit. And if they took all those salaries out of there, it would look like it was more profitable when it wasn't. Yeah. So, you know, those changes happen when we least expect it. And sometimes we don't have time to be fearful. And for me, it was similar because my business, I had to close my little plant nursery down. And I had to go 40 miles to find a job in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I didn't know if this would be for me or not. There were no books, there were no classes except to go through a 2-year course. And I didn't want to go through a 2-year course and find out this is not for me. And we didn't have the money for that anyway. But if I did, I didn't want to dive into a course and I find out I can't stand it. So I dove into a job and found out that maybe the first law firm, it wasn't letting me fly as fast as I wanted to fly. But I found another job that let me fly in the second job. And then the third job was even more so that way. So it was stretching time. And yeah, it's all fear, fear producing. But we have to come to the conclusion that we're going to carry that fear and push it down as much as possible. But every human is dealing with that on this planet. So I look at successful people. I look at people who've given interviews. I love hearing interviews of people who overcame the odds and how did they do it? They kept moving forward in spite of the fear. And I always need to hear that, because otherwise I wouldn't be doing a video right now if I stayed in my fear. I wouldn't have done certain things, wouldn't have gone into the field if I stayed put on the couch in my fear. And so it takes that, okay, I'll carry the fear with me. And before every interview, I would be really fearful. And then one time I felt the Holy Spirit saying, all they can tell you is no. So big deal. Go in there, have a good time, learn what you can. If you don't get the job, it's not for you. Took all the pressure off. So we can't expect things to be easy. When I developed the Paralegal Inner Circle membership class, which is launching at 12:01 a.m. tonight, go to the link that I put in the description box below when this video is over, and you can find out more about that. There'll be a page that gives you info, okay? It's a monthly thing, and it's really low price for the founding members, because the first time I'm offering it as a membership, and the price is low per month. So to stand back from this, because sometimes we can research, look up things, and then we're confused. You need to get some space between yourself and this dream and walk away from it for, a week, and then come back and think about it, and then really do research on the area of law and have a second choice ready, okay? Doing the cover letter and having the right resume and it telling a story is very important as you go forward. Well, what you can do is, I can't really go into the IRAC method for a case. You'll have to go do your research on Google, for that, because I don't really teach that through these videos. So that's something you'll have to go Google. And if that sounds like you're in a class and are you trying to find an answer for a question for a class that you're in right now, you need to use Google as your BFF, and get that information from there. I wish I could help, but there's no time that would be taught in a course. So get perspective, stand back from this for a while, and then run this race that you're running to the best of your ability. Yeah, use Google as your BFF. Okay, Lady Crystal? That is something that you will use it in the law firm too. So the more adept you are at finding the needle in the haystack stuff on Google, it won't be the only thing you use, but that is going to be a big one, because I find people not using it like they should. And lots of questions can be answered there. So let me ask you some questions here. Nothing is easy. Anything worth having is going to be this process, and you build on it. And that's what I do in my class, because when you first take the class, you're going to focus on your cover letter. the second and third month of the 6 months to 7 months that the class is running, you'll get into some legal knowledge. But the first time, you're going to start building your cover letter, because that is going to be the thing that opens the door, and what you put into it. Okay? So, what do you need, excuse me, to accept right now about yourself? Excuse me. I had someone say, I am dealing with fear. Totally normal. Totally normal. If we let the fear drive us, that's a good thing. But I've let fear hold me back. How about you? I've let fear stop me. But there's a plan and a purpose for your life. God says so. In Jeremiah 29:11. Go look that up. Jeremiah was a prophet. So look up Jeremiah 29:11. You can put that right into Google and look at what God said. He says that about you. So if you're pulled to this career, there's a reason for that. There are no coincidences. There's no coincidence that you're watching this video right now or you're watching it on replay. None. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, don't, you know what? I picture fear as this, like, I don't know, like something ugly. But it's the very thing that's ugly can be the driving force for me to not stop. It's only when I decide and I let that ugly thing called fear stop me that it becomes, and it's like, there's chaos in the head and the thoughts, and negative thoughts and stuff. Keep going. Keep going. Whether you're in school or not, keep going. And for those, and I know of one paralegal who is a very experienced paralegal that is going to be coming in my class tomorrow morning, because what I teach also in that class is how flexible certain areas of law make you as a paralegal. So you want to make your career as flexible as possible, so that if you don't like the first law firm you're with and you're there for 2 or 3 years and then you're like, oh my gosh, am I stuck? I teach you about that, okay? I have 29 years experience. You need that help as you go forward. You need to know what you need to know when you hit the ground on the first and second day. So, unfortunately, a lawyer doesn't teach that in school because they don't manage the work. The paralegals manage the work. I want you to remember that, okay? So my challenge to you is, and it is to myself all the time, don't let fear stop me. I was watching a friend of mine who did a live video last night, and the trolls came out of the woodwork. 45 comments, like a barrage, where that could tank somebody, right? And that could make that person stop coming on and sharing. But I'm kind of stubborn that way, where if somebody tells me I can't do something or they don't want me to do something, if I think this is the path I'm supposed to be on, nobody's stopping me from going down my path. And I don't want anybody stopping you. Most of all, you. But don't feel guilty because you're feeling fear. Oh boy, if you're doing something right, you're going to feel the fear. Yeah, you're going down the path God wants you to go down. Oh yeah, there'll be attacks from people in the family, friends, and from here. So you're going down the right path. Do it for the right reasons and go fly. Fly, little birdie. It's time to fly, right? So when you get discouraged, what do you do to feel and get lifted? Sometimes that's separation for a little bit we have to have. we need a break. We need to take a couple days or a week, and we need to not even look at stuff. And then we come back with a clear head, a clearer head. Sometimes not totally clear. It is not easy to go down this path. I think that we want it to be easy, but we have to be real and authentic with ourselves and understand that this is a path that you build on what you know, and you keep building and building and building, and pretty soon you're an expert. Yeah, attorneys will tell people, maybe not tell the paralegal that works for them or has worked for them for a while, that they are scared to death that paralegal's going to leave, because the paralegal knows the case is better than the attorney does. But that's because the attorney's doing other things, and they have other things they're working on. And then a paralegal is digging in the case, finding out the story. And that, all of that, and what the attorney needs on a day in, day out basis is very important. And that's what I call the practical side of paralegalism. You have to know that in order to succeed, because I'm telling you, even though a lot of people sincerely don't want to hear that, there is almost zero training on the ground in the law firm. So that shouldn't scare you. What it should do is say, and make you jump on my course, so that you come in and you learn from a paralegal what you should be doing. Okay? So I will put the link below for the wait list, but tonight at 12:01 that will change into a registration page. And so there'll be no wait list after, while we're running until Saturday. It'll go back to a wait list again. Tonight at 12:01 it'll go to a registration page. But get on the wait list, because I'm going to send out an email tonight, probably at 10 o'clock or so, 10:30ish, because I might open the that page for registration a little bit early rather than wait till midnight. Okay? So thank you for being here, for asking questions. I want to help you in any way I can, but the biggest way I can be of help is in my class for you, to give you the day in, day out, and teach you about the legal knowledge that you need in order to convince the attorney that yes, they should take a chance on you, that yes, this is the place for you, and that you can convince the attorney that that's a fit for their law firm. And you can do it. But make sure it's that you really want to be in this field, okay? And go from there. So have a great day, and I will see you in tomorrow's live video, all right? Have a great one. Talk to you later.